Hi, you're on Rescue TV. I am super excited to bring you Zanita Whittington, my girl crush from the... No, I said to the girls, I said, oh my God, I'm going to get to meet Zanita Zanita. This is a very exciting day for me.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. You're on the rescue couch. You can talk freely to us.
Okay then.
I'm so interested in your career. I think that you have forged, you are like the girl of the moment because you're doing everything. You're traveling, you're living internationally, you are creating your own history. Take us back 5 years and tell me what you were doing then.
I kind of spent a lot of time about 5 years ago not fully understanding where I wanted to go. I had actually started my blog then. I started it 7 years ago.
Wow.
And I just started as a hobby. It was just being part of a community, and I was working as a model and just kind of modeling in catalogues and things, and I loved fashion and I just wanted to share that with people that felt the same way, and so I would comment on other people's blogs, and it was like a little friend group actually. And then from there it just kind of grew. I got better. I started taking pictures and testing my friends. Like I bought a better camera, and I didn't even want to be a photographer actually back then. And then once I got my hot little hands on a better camera, I started to fall in love with it, and yeah, I guess it just grew, a lot from there.
Tell me, did you have like a strategic approach to what you were doing, or did you at some point say, you know what, this is going to be my career?
There wasn't a point that I ever went, you know what, I could actually make something of this, until only, relatively recently, maybe even only 2 or 3 years ago, where I kind of went, oh, hang on, this is my career, I better kind of think about it a little further. It was really just totally organic, and that was why I think it kind of grew so quickly, was because, I was just putting myself in it, and, people that came to my site was like, that's how I would speak to them like they were my friend. And yeah, today I have a lot more strategy because it's highly competitive, and I want to grow and continue
and highly
to grow.
Commercial.
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
meeting you because you're now a year-long ambassador for the Schwarzkopf hair brand.
Yeah, I'm an ambassador for Schwarzkopf Hair Happiness, which is a real honour. I actually didn't. I was like, why do they want me to be?
You kind of look like the Schwarzkopf.
Oh, maybe.
I think it's kind of like perfect. When they told me, I went, yeah, that makes sense.
But I actually spend most of my days with bad hair days. I actually I'm known for this fluffy, what's this look, but actually spent half the days looking pretty shabby and trying to hide inside. But I realised that the Hair Happiness campaign is about actually fixing that problem and not making excuses. So yeah, I feel lucky. It was good timing.
So we're going to see you getting more in beauty, because obviously you've been a model, so
yeah,
really fashion focused. Your blog is very fashion and travel focused, I feel.
Yeah.
So is beauty something you're passionate about?
You know what? I am actually pretty passionate about beauty, but I'm terrible at it. So I think what I like about the way I approach beauty is kind of like a journey, and discovering products, learning right from the beginning, I think, because I follow a lot of beauty bloggers.
Do you really? Who do you follow?
Yeah. Well, my favourite is actually Chloe Morello. She's a YouTuber. I love her. She's so funny.
We were actually going to try to film her today. She couldn't, and we were going to film you guys back to back, so you would have
oh, really?
had a great morning together.
Yeah,
but sadly she wasn't.
I'm going to film with her next week, so I'm super excited about that. But yeah, I learned so much from her. But she's leagues ahead of me. I'm kind of like, how do I do this? Struggling away. But we'll see. Plug away.
Tell me, what do you do to refresh yourself? Because, you're young, you're highly successful, you have an enviable international life, you're in a highly successful television show with the Fashion Blogger series. What do you do to educate yourself and to keep stretching? Because it must be easy to just go with the adrenaline of everything that's happening around you.
You know, I think that's a real danger, to kind of go with the flow. I always thought that it was a good philosophy to just kind of roll with the punches and go with the flow, but it's really about staying well researched, because if you kind of let yourself get swept up in everything, you don't evolve, and you don't sort of see what's coming next, and you don't kind of experiment either. So I really like to challenge myself, and it's something I'm still figuring out.
And where do you look to? Do you do you study it? Do you watch your competitors? What gives you the inspiration to kind of stretch and try new things?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it's in part, like, I have all these friends, like, who are fashion bloggers, and they're so inspirational, like, traveling around the world and doing things like, I can't even believe that these girls have the opportunities that some of them have. But also kind of looking outside of that and looking in like, kind of new forms of media. Right now, I'm really inspired by what's going on in YouTube. I think that's kind of growing a lot, and in that kind of package, Snapchat is really taking off. So that's something where I'm like, oh, how can I apply my business and what I'm doing to like the Snapchat medium?
Yeah.
So those two.
And from, you obviously started in blogging, then you evolved into like this phenomenal Facebook following, and then you were ducked to water with Instagram. You're now on television. You're exploring YouTube. What do you think, just from like a sense of where things are going, what do you think is next?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think Snapchat is next in terms of like mediums for sharing, but I think like there's always going to be something else that follows that. And what I think actually, I like to make these kind of predictions about bloggers in general, not specifically myself, but what I'm seeing with like some of the biggest fashion bloggers in the world, like Kiara and Christina from K2, they've started to have like paparazzi kind of follow them around, and I really think this is like the new wave.
Do you want paparazzi?
No, I don't want that at all. I don't want that. No way. Like, I don't like. The idea of fame is pretty frightening to me, but obviously like it's quite a strange because success and popularity is also part of my business model, so it's kind of
Michelle
like
Phan interviewed Michelle Obama last week.
Oh my god, that's
Did
crazy.
you see that? It actually blew my mind, but I kind of got it.
Yeah. Well, this is it, and I think it's like, I really think that those girls like Michelle Phan and Kiara, like, they're kind of like a new Hollywood or something, like in that way, where we're going to see them like, in the media everywhere, and it's crazy. It's exciting to see it.
I'm going to ask you something which I think is interesting. There is a bit of a phenomena of this double act thing going on, because I've met a couple of very successful bloggers where their boyfriends or their partners are part of the success. And to me, as a woman, as a feminist, this really interests me, because I feel like this is a very new and interesting model for success, where the male partner of the intensely successful and visible female talent is part of it, but in a very complementary, non-competitive way. And you've got that in your life.
I've seen that like model so much. I've got so many friends, and actually it's a bit dangerous. Some of them have also split apart, so that's quite complicated. It is a risk to go in business with your partner. But obviously you've just met my partner, Gustav. We've only started working together relatively recently, and I think it's also that we have pretty like clearly defined, like, I'm creative and he's like kind of the business and negotiations and production, like all of that kind of stuff. And also we're like, together we can take on even more people. So I have contributors, and we're looking at having a fashion editor. So it's always going to be, obviously it's going to be the two of us, but I think also more responsibility beyond that, which I think is hopefully okay. But yeah, we'll see. I don't really always forever want to be the face of like my business. I know that I've called it Zanita, which maybe I will regret in the future.
You can change your name.
Yeah, maybe. Call me Terry now. But yeah, I just hope that one day I don't have to do that. I can still be creative, but I won't have to be like always having my hair and makeup done. And I'm a bit scruffy girl at heart, so I prefer other people to step up into that space. And
I'm going to ask you one other thing, because it's the thing that I think is the game changer. The cover of Lucky. Cracking the US market is the holy grail of any business in the world. It's still considered the #1 free market to crack. And you were on the cover of Lucky with 2 other Australian girls.
Still gives me goosebumps.
It was phenomenal. What happened after that? Did it change your world?
Yeah, I mean, it really did. It really did. I guess it's just really about I'm only one person, so there's only so much I can do. Like when that happened, I was like, God, I wish I was like 3 or 4 people, so I could all these opportunities that were coming to me, I could make them happen. And yeah, it's crazy. There's not enough hours in the day, and there's not enough days in the year for me to kind of really, truly capitalize on it right now. But yeah, since then I've been able to like had the means to kind of expand my site and just kind of decide, like really choose the direction I wanted to go, not kind of have to go with like what opportunities come, but kind of really be really selective, which is amazing.
Now, I'm not going to ask you where you think you'll be in 5 years, because I think 5 years in digital is insanely long
like
time.
400 years.
But where do you think you'll be in 12 months' time?
I hope that, I mean, this for me is a pretty big goal. My dream would be to have a studio where I have where I can kind of nurture young creatives.
Wow,
and like kind of, because like I said, like I have too much to do that's just for me. So I could find some people that are like young me, and I could have them produce for my site. Because right now, like I know a lot of young bloggers and young creatives, they want to do what I'm doing, but the market is so full of, and it's so competitive, that you can't just kind of start tomorrow unless you have some crazy catalyst that kind of pushes you up to the top.
Gotcha.
But I have the means to kind of go, oh, actually, you know what you're producing is amazing. Like, come and work with me and share it on my channels. And that way I can kind of curate it as well, so it's still aligned with like
your brand.
Yeah, my branding. And yeah, so I hope I have a studio, like kind of similarly to what Garant's story has actually.
Amazing.
Yeah, that would be my dream.
And I love at like the tender age of 20-something, you want to groom the young people. I love that. It makes me feel like 105.
Oh no,
actually.
I'm 29, so not
on the cusp of 30. But no, it's really exciting. But I wish you the best. The next 12 months are going to be super exciting. I have no doubt you're going to make it happen. Good luck with everything.